Welcome to our revenue simulation presentation. We are Team 5.2. My name is École and I'm in charge of pricing.
Hello, my name is Sophie Weldon and I'm in charge of channel management.
Hello, my name is Dominic Dubois and I'm in charge of services and facilities.
Hi, my name is Fabienne Gaillon and I'm in charge of marketing.
And my name is Robin Sigris and I'm in charge of refurbishment.
First, we'll begin with a little presentation about our hotel. Then we will explain the goals we have wanted to achieve throughout the simulation. We will show how we did throughout the year thanks to different indicators that we have, before heading towards the analysis, and finally we will finish with recommendations for the long and short term. The Lazuli collection is a new venture created by Weldon and Partners, aiming to provide a home away from home experience for business travelers while retaining their reputation as a high quality price leader. The property is based in the city center, and the Lazuli collection is known for their ancillary services and MICE products, specifically events and outlets accommodating both in-house and external clients. Here you see our esteemed gastronomic restaurant as well as our state-of-the-art conference rooms. The Lazuli collection boasts over 250 rooms, complete with a gastronomic restaurant, business center, concierge service and valet service. Not to mention the mandatory high-speed internet and laundry services for our clients. Our loyalty program is ubiquitous throughout all of our properties around the world.
Thanks to the owner's briefing, we were aware of the performance for the past 3 years. We noticed that the ADR, the occupancy, and the GOP were decreasing. Now our goal is to make the hotel increase its profit. We aim to increase GOP from both rooms and other departments. Let's talk about our segmentation. We decided to attract both business and leisure customers. We have two clear seasonalities, weekends and weekdays. As we are a city hotel, during the weekdays, we focus on business customers, and on the weekend, we shift our focus towards leisure travelers. Our third segment is large groups. During low demand season, we can rely on this segment to increase occupancy, thus benefiting from the multiplier effect. But how do we attract our targeted clients? What is our strategy? We believe that we can best perform through sales of ancillary services. Thus, our first decision was to refurbish food and beverage outlets. Additionally, we have decided to open a business center to accommodate to our segment's needs. Hotel Lazuli has decided to adopt a competition-based pricing. This has many advantages as it is a reactive strategy, meaning that timely changes to our pricing will make us obtain more market share. As we are price leaders and not creating a large margin through room sales, we wanted to keep the cost of distribution as low as possible. We decided to focus on direct distribution due to its high profit contribution and on GDS, as it makes it easier for large companies to find us.
Now we're going to talk about the performance of the Lazuli Hotel. The owner's briefing in the beginning of the year set two following goals. Achieve a competitive occupancy rate in ADR compared to the comp set, and to generate a GOP over 25% and ROI over 10%. As the graph indicates, we had a bumpy start, but we managed to have an average GOP of 34.6% over the whole year. However, we fell short on the second criteria, where we only achieved an ROI of 3.6%. The reason behind this is that we could not generate a high enough net profit with our low room margins. Now let's look at our performance indicators. Here we can see the primary performance indicator over the past year. If we take a yearly approach, we can see that the occupancy overall increased during this year, with an annual average of 68.25% and an ADR of $154. The most significant indicator increase was 34.6% in GOP. Now concerning occupancy, from this graph, we can see that we suffered between January and February, but thanks to adopting intensive marketing, we managed to bring up this performance indicator to an above market share level for the remainder of the year. As we can see in the table, the average occupancy rate increased from 53.98% to 76.74% from the first quarter to the third quarter. However, it can be noticed that it decreased in the last quarter. We managed to attract more customers by the beginning of the second quarter, mostly due to high amounts of non-room related refurbishments and a large drop in ADR due to hosting the large group. We noticed that we had higher occupancy during high season, notably during summer. This phenomenon can be explained by macroeconomic factors. such as the expected 20% increase in the new legacy carriers and discounted airlines. Finally, during the fourth quarter, the occupancy was higher than the predicted 60% occupancy for the weekdays and the 55% occupancy for weekends. The marketing and sales expenses, the one we can see here, grew dramatically from the first to the second quarter, resulting in drastic increase on occupancy. In the fourth quarter, we decided to decrease marketing expense and raise room prices as it was low season. Total revenue followed the same evolution as the occupancy rate. Here we can state that the hotel more than doubled its revenue from the first to the fourth quarter. By analyzing the price-value map, we can see how we are positioned against our competition throughout the year. The progression clearly shows that all hotels positioned towards higher quality and affordable prices. This indicator gives us a quick snapshot of our position in the market. Our position shows our low price strategy. We see that we aren't performing as well as our competition, although we did succeed to strike the top in December. To conclude, we can say that we performed better in the second half of the year than the first, which can be explained by mistakes that we made at the beginning. These will be explained further in this presentation.
Now let's get on to the analysis, which we will assess quarterly. The first quarter, we made the mistake of refurbishing our F&B outlets and opened the business center too early. We did not take into account the fast depreciation of facilities. If we had known, we would refurbish according to market patterns in order to have the best facilities during peak season. With our marketing, we took the decision of focusing primarily on direct channels and GDS. Unfortunately, we made the mistake of investing money into wholesale marketing, where only 4 months later, we realized that the revenue generated was negligible. Overall, we overspent on marketing, especially during low season, where marketing does not have as much of an impact. Even though direct and GDS are the two most profitable distribution channels, there is still a big gap between their contribution. Therefore, we noticed that we should have allocated more of our marketing expenses to the direct channel in order to achieve greater results. We adjusted our pricing according to our marketing index, which was a little bit lower than the average ADR. During the first quarter, we had a good competitive pricing, reflecting our position in the market. Overall, in the first quarter, we made a loss due to large investments and overspending in marketing. We did not focus on refurbishment, but we did some room cleaning instead. We wanted to save money to be able to enhance our rooms later, which turned out to be a bad idea as we should have started to refurbish right before high demand. Our room forecasting was extremely inaccurate. We had an error margin of 18%. This made it very difficult for departments to plan their activities. We looked at our competitors and realized that not only were our prices very similar, but our hotel had a bad reputation. This led us to become a price leader in the market. As you can see, we have the lowest prices. We did not understand. For this quarter, we closed the entire wholesale channel because we realized that it did not generate relevant revenue. One of the biggest mistakes during this second quarter was taking a large group of an ADR of $80, while our RevPAR was at $99. Deciding to take on the group in May decreased our ADR significantly, as you can see here on this slide. We did not understand, since May was already a relatively high demand period, that we should have given priority to transient guests as they pay a higher rate or increase the group's room rate. In both cases, it would have allowed us to keep a higher ADR. Now to quarter 3. Due to a bad refurbishment strategy, during the previous quarter, we had an extremely low quality during this high season quarter. Since we did not refurbish before the high season, also because we did not have any money, we had to enhance our room during high season to stay competitive. This resulted in a loss of total capacity. We tried to attract people by enhancing our facilities, which made our hotel a building ground during high season. On top of the bad refurbishment, our low pricing strategy was not correctly done, though we adopted a competition-based pricing. We valued ourselves significantly under our competition. This resulted in a loss of potential revenue during our most important revenue-generating period. The marketing expenses were still too high and created unnecessary costs. Overall, our profit margin was considerably low. In this period, we made the most regrettable mistakes. During the fourth and last quarter, our pricing strategy finally improved. We correctly priced just under our competitors and therefore managed to attract a significant amount of customers, while operating at maximum revenue. This quarter, marketing expenses were justified and we managed to lower the costs. We refurbished a lot in the last quarter, especially facilities. Overall, we performed best in the fourth quarter. We reached an absolutely satisfactory revenue with our strategy. Despite being the last quarter, we still opted to refurbish our hotel. This decision is wise, but as the scope of the project was only over a 1-year duration, over-refurbishment went to waste. So, to recapitulate, what decisions had most impact and where did we fail? The main problem was the lack of planning. We started off lightheartedly and unprepared. This is why we made many wrong decisions. The two main mistakes we made were the falsely applied pricing approach and the suboptimal timing of refurbishment. Concerning the pricing approach, we decided to apply a competitor-based approach which is suitable for this market. However, we undercut by too much of a margin, resulting in a huge profit margin loss. The repercussion of this mistake was felt the most during the third quarter, where occupancy was the highest. Concerning the refurbishment timing, we had a clear strategy, namely focusing on F&B and MICE facilities. However, as previously mentioned, we refurbished too early and the value of the facilities depreciated before peak season. This also meant that we neglected our rooms, resulting in lower occupancy. We ended up having to refurbish during high season, blocking off a significant amount of rooms. Our logic behind refurbishing ancillary departments is because we aimed to maximize revenue through the multiplier effect and to increase go power. During low season, we shouldn't have done that much marketing since it does not pay off. We were offered to book a large group in November. Unfortunately, we did not have the right pricing approach once again, as our rate was too high compared to our competitors who acquired that group. We learned that we should have increased our other room rates and lowered our group offer in order to compensate in revenue and acquire the group at the same time.
So here are our recommendations for the next year. In the short run, the most important task is to carefully look at our pricing strategy. As a price leader, to maximize our revenue, we have to catch every additional revenue opportunity. This is done by decreasing the gap between our low rates and the competition's lowest rates. This means setting our prices very close to our competition's rates, but still staying lower. This is a strategy that doesn't require any specific costs or investment. Now, on the other hand, if it is noticed that our competitors are aiming towards the same type of strategy, we would recommend to shift towards a more value-based pricing. Furthermore, by paying attention to the forecasted unconstrained demand, we recommend to considerably invest in marketing and advertising during high demand season. This is because it will help us to reach the most customers, as people are looking to stay in the same area. Due to a shortage of funds, we were not able to build or refurbish all the facilities we wanted. Renovation and refurbishment enhance the value of our hotel. This is why we would recommend to acquire additional investors to help increase the quality of our hotel. Also, concerning groups, we should try and acquire large groups when our hotel is going through a low demand season. Therefore, this would help us stabilize the occupancy rate and gain revenue from other departments. Now, in the long run, the refurbishment and marketing strategy should always be aligned with room allocation and forecasted occupancy. Refurbishing during a low season is beneficial to the hotel as well as the customers, since, for example, we can avoid walk-in guests. In addition, something that we realized later during the simulation is that we should have focused on refurbishing the rooms before any other outlets. Our recommendations concerning any refurbishment activities is to quickly increase room quality before hoping to make more revenue by counting on the multiplier effect of other departments. On the other hand, refurbishing the bar or restaurant is also important, since we earn lots of ancillary revenue from groups, but it is something to focus on after the rooms have been taken care of. Since we have some available funds left, we recommend to save them until we have enough funds to invest in room renovations next year, as it is something important we need to focus on. Moreover, we recommend to analyze more in-depth the forecast and the trends observed after each month to be able to make better decisions. It would help us position ourselves better in the market. We also cannot forget to take into consideration seasonality, such as weekdays and weekends, while setting the rates. Finally, we would recommend as well to look at our reputation management to know in which areas to focus on in particular. Overall, we believe that the revenue simulation was an extremely helpful project. We learned a lot and now understand how to apply revenue management theories to real-life situations. That said, many challenges were faced, especially concerning time constraints and the actual application of theories learned in class. The fact that the simulation only spanned over 1 year meant that long-term investments, namely spa and themed restaurants, weren't feasible neither to us nor the competition. Despite the fact that we could have had better results during high season if we hadn't accepted the group. In the future, it is imperative that we begin the simulation better prepared with more knowledge concerning the market and the technicalities.